where our authors and aspiring authors, good evening and welcome to Beautiful Faith Publishing Marketing. Where are you guys? Coming. Yay. Okay, so we are going to begin. If you are joining this video now, or if you are joining the replay later on, I trust that this is going to be a huge blessing to you on your book writing journey. So, first of all, welcome once again to this book webinar session on book marketing for impacts, influence, and sales. My name is Favour Frances, Creative Director at Beautiful Publishing, and you are welcome for this webinar session. I am also an author myself. I've been an author for the past 7 years. I think I've written more than 12 books now, each at varying degrees of um, reach and success. But each of those books actually almost follow the same system, which is writing and also marketing books, right? And if you joined us we had a book marketing strategy session on Friday with Favour Ajayi. If you joined us for that session, then you know that the very best time to start marketing the book is before you have written that book, before you wrote that book. And um, in our what's it called? We have a 12-week marketing plan workbook and ebook where we actually advocate that you start marketing your book at least 4 weeks before your book is out. Now, I've seen authors like Francie Rivers, who is a best-selling author in her own right, start marketing her new books at least a year out in advance, literally, right? She starts putting the word out a year out in advance. And for us who are aspiring authors or authors who are just climbing up the ladder, you can't say that you just write a book and leave the book to die. It's not going to get to reach out to the persons you want to reach out to, and it's not going to get sold that way. I feel like we have so little reach with the work of our hands, which is the books God gives to us, because we're not putting in the work to make the books a success. It's like we say it, I want to write a best-selling book, but we actually do not, number one, know what it takes to write a best-selling book. Number two, to not care to put in the work that will make it a best-selling book. So the best time to start marketing your book, and book marketing is not a swear word. It's a Greek word. The best time to start marketing that book is before you wrote that book. And if you've already written the book, the best time to start marketing the book is now. And that's why we're having this free webinar session with you. Now, I have to say that this webinar session isn't ending here. We are opening up a 6 weeks book marketing book bootcamp for authors who are ready to put in the work, and you will see results when you join that bootcamp. Now let's get into this class. Book marketing for impact, influence, and sales. I like to classify the results we get from marketing our books into these three dimensions: impact, influence, and sales. And most of the times, authors actually focus on just the sales without starting from the impact and moving on to influence, which can then lead to sales. And I'll break this down in a step by step manner. Now, the first place to start from, if you want a book that is going to do really well and do really great, is to write a book that influences lives. I'll say that again. The first place to start from, if you want to write a book that's going to do really well, first place to start marketing that book is to make sure that that book is a great book. And what is my definition of a great book? My definition of a great book is actually a book with a message. One of our team members messaged me a while back and she said, "You write timeless books." I'll put it that way. Write a timeless book, and a timeless book is a book that can stay through the generations, stay through ages, and still be relevant. It's a book that 300 years later, people are still reading that book, and it is still relevant for their particular generation and particular time, right? So that's the first place to start from. Marketing starts from the kind of book that you have written. I advocate writing a book with a message. What is the message of your book? If you have a journal, I want you to take all this down. What is the message of your book? What is that book about? Who is that book written for? Who is the message meant for? Right? So you have to start from, I don't advocate writing books that tickle your fancy. I don't advocate writing books that you just let your imagination run. No, I hear beautiful people publishing, which is really a kingdom business. When we speak to our scribes for the Lord, we advocate writing messages that are straight from the heart of the Father. Take, for example, what has happened in Nigeria, right? And God rest the souls of the faithful departed. What happened has me asking, as a scribe for the Lord, is there a message for Nigeria in this time? And I'm saying to God, give me this message. I want to put it in a book, right? So the first place to really start is to write a book that has a message, and a book that really has a timeless message. And I will classify that under impacts. Impacts. You want to write a book that impacts lives. That's what you want to do. A book that creates change in lives. You don't just want your book to be an echo. You want your book to literally transform lives, right? Moving on from the place of writing a book that impacts life, or writing a book that has a message, or writing a book that is timeless, is influence. Now, what is influence? Influence is basically the power to create change. So, if you write a book that has a message, for example, I have a book titled Prayers for Your Future Husband. That book is a book with a message. The message is that women should pray for their husbands even before they meet them, right? Someone picks up that book, reads that book, and the impact of that book in their lives influences them to start praying for their man, to start praying for their marriage even before they are married. That's influence. I'm influencing that person with the message of that book to do what the message of the book says that they should do. Now, when I start marketing my book, I always market my books with the message of the book. I don't like to do buy my book, buy my book. there's a better way of marketing your book, and that's using the message of your book. And I teach all this in the book marketing course and also in the book marketing bootcamp that will be starting soon. The way to market your book for the best results is to use the message of your book in marketing that book. Is not to say, buy my book, right? If you write a book that is meant for impact, there's a message in that book that you can turn around and create a marketing plan around it. And I love doing this. I love doing this. I love doing this for my books. I love doing this for clients that come to us, right? So the message of that book impacts a life, and that impact influences them to do something, influences them to carry out the message of that book, influences them to make a change, influences them to do something that they would otherwise not have done if they did not read that book. The more people who get influenced with the message of your book, the more sales you actually make, because those persons are going to spread the message of that book. And then the message of that book that they spread impacts another life, influences that life to make a change, and that change influences them to speak to someone else on that book. And if you get this right, it becomes a domino effect, right? From one person to the next person to the next person to the next person. And after a while, you don't actually have to do any form of active marketing anymore. Your book just continually sells itself by itself. And this is actually what happens with my book, Prayers for Your Future Husband and Prayers for Your Future Seed. Those books literally sell themselves by themselves now. I don't do any active marketing per se, right? And any marketing that I do with those books is basically using the message of that book to do my marketing. And we'll teach you all this. We'll break down all this for you if you join us in the 6 weeks book marketing bootcamp that we are having starting in the month of July. The good thing about this process I'm teaching you on how to write a book for impact that influences lives and then leads to sales, is that once you learn the process once, you are able to replicate it for all your books. I just saw one of my clients, we're putting up her book on online sites, and that's something that we do. If you and also an aspiring author, you want to upload your books on online sites, do that for you. And I just saw her posting, please buy my new book. This is the thing. And I was just shaking my head. I'm like, authors, stop doing this. The only people who would actually buy your book when you say, please buy my book, are your family and friends. How many, if you are from an extended family, maybe your family and friends would just be like 20 or 30 or 50. Is that the reach that God has sent you to reach out to? So we must learn how to write books that create impact, influences lives, and leads to change. That's how we reach out to a demographic wider than just our immediate vicinity, wider than just our friends and family. Friends and family are good. Your book is out, they would buy it, but you need to think like a certified author. If there's any word like that, you need to think like a certified author. And how you think like a certified author is learning the process of creating a marketing plan for your book that comes from the message of the book, leading to impact in a life, leading to influencing that life to take an action, create a change, and then that continually leads to sales, 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 sales. So I'm going to start wrapping up now. If you do have a why from the start, I've said first place in marketing a book for impact, influence, and sales is to have a book that has a message, a book that has a why, a purpose, right? A timeless book that even if people years from now, someone picks up that book to read, it is relevant for their life at that time. So know your why for that book from the start. Know your why from the start. Knowing the message. I'm going to keep hammering on this because literally the entire book marketing work that we teach is based on this foundation. The why of the book, the why of the book, the message of the book. And then from that message, craft out strategies. I want to say glory to God. From that message, craft out strategies. And this is where we come in. This is where we can help you literally craft out strategies for your book marketing that can span 4 weeks before your book launch, 4 weeks during your book launch, 4 weeks after your book launch of active marketing. And then if you do it really well, you can be a passive marketer like I am now with most of my book, passive, but I still sell. They still make sales. They still make sales, right? So from the message of your book, you can come up with the strategies that spread the why, that spread the message, making impact in lives, influencing lives for change, and then going on this domino effect that keeps, bringing in more people reading the book, buying the book. That's it. That's it. That's the 3-step process that I use for my own books. And I have books that have sold out thousands of copies, right? And I have books that people order 100 copies at once. I have books that, this is what I use. This is the strategy that I use. This is the strategy that I'm using. Yeah. So we're not going to stay for long here. If you came in late, just go after the replay ends now. Just go to the beginning and we watch it again. If you are online, if you have any questions, please, this is the time to ask your questions. This is the time for me to also share with you that we are going more in depth with a book marketing bootcamp. Our book 6 weeks book marketing bootcamp holds from the month of July, and we're going to be breaking down everything that I've been teaching you using your own book as the case study. It's an investment that once you learn this process once, you get it right for every other book that you write. Every other book that you write. So we're going to be together in a boot camp for 6 weeks. 6 weeks. In the boot camp, you get the book marketing online course from us. You get the 12-week book marketing workbook for you to craft out a 12-week marketing plan already spelled out for you with your own book message. You get a book marketing ebook also, and then you get to stay in a 6 weeks boot camp with me where we will be putting in the work together to ensure that your book reaches out for impact, influence, and sales. So if you want to be a part of this bootcamp, you can click on the link below. It's going to take you to our Facebook page and our Instagram page, and see the flyer to sign up there. See the flyer to sign up there. I want you to please, for the sake of your book, be a part of this. Do not be like those who write books keep them under a bushel. I don't understand it. Authors do that, including Christian authors, are writing books and putting them under a bushel. What the heck? Don't do that. Don't do that. Your your book marketing is on you. It's not on someone else. It's on you. So I want you to take responsibility. I want you to take responsibility. I want you to tell yourself that you are never again going to write another book that will be kept under a bushel. Never again. That's the aim. Never again. Never again will you write another book that no one gets to hear about, a book that doesn't reach out to your intended audience, a book that doesn't impact anybody, a book that doesn't influence anyone, and a book that doesn't sell out. I want you to make that commitment to yourself. Never again. You will never again be that person. So come in, invest in the 6 weeks book marketing boot camp with us, and we will break down further how to turn your book message into your book marketing strategy that impacts lives, influences lives, and sells out, makes sales, right? So just go on Facebook with the links on the comment below, or go on Instagram and you will see the flyer and you will see more details to start joining us ASAP. Yeah. So I hope this has been a blessing to you. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook as we share more and start opening up the bootcamp for you to join us. Have a great, 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 great night. And please share this video if it has been a blessing to you. Another aspiring author needs to hear, right?